But man, I tell you, you think it's just your kids that are working, things like that behind your back. It's not. It's all the equipment too. They call it gremlins. No, it's all the pod. They're trying to get to the pod. I know it is. All right. But hey, we've got it together here. I'm telling you, Hempfest. We're like the dab that holds it all together. I tell you. And another person that's been helping us hold it all together is a wonderful woman. Mama Glow's going to come up here. She's going to tell you a little bit about what she's been doing. And I'd like a big warm welcome for this one lady. She's been helping us for so many years. I can't even count that high. Okay? Come on, give it up for Glow.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you all for being here. Can you hear me over on the rocks? Over there where you're rolling your joints on the rocks by the water. Can you hear us? All right. Not too stoned to answer yet. It must be early in the day. Welcome to Hempfest 2014. Yeah. Right on. Well, I am really honored to be able to be here again. They go through a big process, and the amount of work that they put into putting together the speakers and the bands, it forces me to put a lot of really medicated time into thinking about what I'm going to say and how to present myself. And this year, they sent out the theme and they talked about time, place, and manner. And I had myself pretty well situated to talk about what I always do. And they said this time, place, and manner thing, and it got in my head because, it applies to everything. It's just not about looking around when you're about to light that joint and go, is there a cop over my shoulder? Because that's an important thing. You got to make sure there's no cop there when you're about to light the joint on the street corner. That's not the right time to smoke pot in public, So it matters. But it matters when you're interacting with each other, when you're driving down the freeway, whether you use a turn signal or not. The time, place, and manner of every action you take matters. And part of what I like to talk about is how activism applies to your daily life. But if you just apply it to your daily life, everywhere you go, everything you do gives you an opportunity to spread a message. And it doesn't have to be the message of hemp, but I hope you're spreading that one because there's, 900,000 people have been arrested for drug law offenses this year. 900,000, I want you to think about that. That's, 3 Hempfests all packed together in one place. Well, in a bunch of places that are prisons. And we'll get back to that. And that's because the law might not be acting in the proper time, place, and manner in regards to you and your rights, and that's why we're all here. And so just those 3 words, man, they were so important, and ever since I read them, they haven't gone out of my head. Deal with my son, they come back. It's a beautiful thing. And it's really powerful. And when you're living your daily life, when you walk out and, I've been in the Value Village and I heard some lady say that she didn't want to buy a hemp vest because it was made of that evil marijuana. And I kind of laughed and I walked away. But if I think about it, I had an opportunity right there to turn around and go, wait a minute, you're wrong. There's a difference. And that's actually activism in your daily life. It takes 30 seconds. It's a choice most of us don't make, but we can. And that's part of what I got out of this. I talk about if you think you should be able to grow a plant in your yard, well, you can either convince all your neighbors to put a pot plant in their front yard, because they're not going to arrest everybody. And that's one manner to do it. Or you can, put out a fake pot plant. Nobody's going to get arrested. And you're still spreading the same message. And I just encourage you, first of all, to all think about how you can employ any action towards what you believe in. Whether it's prisoners' rights, whether it's the right to smoke a joint, whether you want to abolish all the drug laws, wherever you're coming from that brought you here, I challenge you to go out in your daily life and look for the times and the places that you can educate people. Gary is up here talking about Jack Herrera. He was a wonderful human being. I had the honor to meet him several times, and he deeply touched my life in his education, not incarceration. If we educate each other, they will at some point have to quit incarcerating all of us because we'll all be hip to the game. And that's why I'll stand here and talk to y'all and hope that some part of it gets through by the end of the music and all the fun. And I hope that you take something home, whether from me or somebody, and share it with somebody else, because that's what activism is. You don't have to do this. This is the fun part. Activism is how you live. Beyond that, I want to say my personal message about the drug war, and I'll be really fast. I mentioned we're arresting 900,000 people for drug law offenses this year. That's a lot of people, a lot of lives. And even if they don't all get sentenced to jail, it's still going to be there that they got arrested for whatever they got arrested with, and probably while they weren't really hurting anybody in the process. They were making a decision with their own body. And there's a lot of talk about why that is. You can say the money for the pharmaceutical industry. You can talk about the timber industry with hemp. There's, a lot of things you can talk about. But the truth is, the 13th Amendment to our Constitution that was supposed to free everybody includes a clause that says that nobody can be a slave or indentured servant unless they've been convicted of a crime. And when you've been convicted of a crime, you lose the right to be a free person, and a private prison corporation like Corrections Corporation of America says, you go over to this prison and we're going to put you in a training program for which you won't get paid, and you're going to work for this corporation. Whatever that corporation is, probably owns part of the company that puts you in it. They own the surveillance companies that lobby for the cameras everywhere. But the key is, the money in the prison industry really comes from this phrase, except as a punishment for a crime you've been duly convicted. There are ways to address it. You can, one, look for laws that exist solely and completely to violate what that's supposed to do. The laws that make it possible for the private prisons to make so much money. And write your congressman and say, I think this is a violation of the 13th Amendment. Or you can actually lobby your congressional leaders and the Senate to make a change to the Constitution that removes that exception. That just says we as an American people do not believe that slavery should exist for any reason. And that's a really important thing, and that's what I want to share with you. Please have a great Hempfest. If you make a mess, pack it in, pack it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Glo. We dearly appreciate that. So much. I'm telling you, that's exactly right. We have to totally watch out and beware, how corporate America is seeping into our minds. All right. Diego Baraga's coming up here.